where the demon Kali is given his place in this world. The demons also have a role. They are going to upend all of the good and righteous things. And ultimately, though, because they trouble the devotees, they actually make the devotees surrender more unto the Lord. Because of Duryodhana and all his trouble he is giving the Pandavas surrendered even deeper to Krishna. So this is the role of the demonic. They're meant in this world to disturb all of the righteous and good people, and when they disturb all of the righteous and good people, what ends up happening is that they turn deeper to Krishna. We have two guests here from Ukraine, and so many demonic people had started wars in Ukraine. The Russian demonic people, Ukrainian demonic people, so many demonic people, they start trouble for all of the innocent citizens. And so, but by good fortune though, we have Dhruv here and we have Narayan here, and I heard personally from both of them, but Narayan definitely, he opened up about this, that in the midst of all of the chaos that the war brought out, he found himself depending on Krishna even more. Oh, what happened with this? Oh, the live stream is still going. All right, so no problem. Let's do our Mangal Charna.
Chakshun militanyena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Shtapitam Yena Bhutale Mayan Rupa Kadamayan Kadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan.
Did I skip it?
No.
That's right, Raghunathan.
Raghunathan. Sadhutam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Adakanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Davaneshwari Vishabhani Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Srinivadi Pashrita Deshitarine.
All right, so let's welcome Dhruv to his, is it first Bhagavatam class with us?
Yeah.
Yes, first Bhagavatam class with us. We chant every day Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantasto Hibadrani Vidinoti Sahitsatam, that Sri Krishna, who's Paramatma, the super soul in the heart of each living entity, he's the benefactor, the truthful devotee, and he cleanses. How does he benefit us? He cleanses our heart of material desires. How? By giving us the urge to hear his messages. So the Bhagavatam is actually the message of Krishna. And if we actually want to make advancement in life, we have to hear the messages of Krishna. Like when Lord Chaitanya instructed Nityananda Prabhu, he gave him 3 instructions. Does anyone know the 3 instructions? He said to Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu. Yeah. Bhaja Krishna, Bolo Krishna, Koro Krishna, Shiksha. Bhaja Krishna means worship Krishna. Like we do worship, we do the Mangal Arati, we do everything like this. Bolo Krishna, we chant Krishna's name. So we're chanting on the beads, we chant in Kirtan, always chanting Krishna's name. And then Koro Krishna Shiksha, follow Krishna's instructions. This is this is what was Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, this was the main instruction given. But in order to follow Krishna's instructions and share Krishna's instructions, you have to hear Krishna's instructions. So every day, Srila Prabhupada, he recommended that we hear Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is going to be like our saving grace. And he got this idea because Bhakti Siddhanta, when he started his temple, I think in Bagh Bazar in Calcutta, his main attraction was every day coming and hearing Bhagavatam. Actually, it's interesting because we have our acharyas, and chanting Hare Krishna is one of the best activities that we can do. But if you had to choose between any activity to actually do, the one who's hearing Hare Katha from a bona fide spiritual master, that is actually the topmost activity. Because their realizations and their connection with Krishna Nam is so strong that they can awaken that in you just by hearing Hare Katha. Actually, it's the Bhagavatam states, how do we actually see Krishna? Like right now, we maybe you guys have had some realization when you're seeing Krishna on the altar, and you can start to form a relationship with the deity. How did you learn to do that? Do you know how? Did you just look at it one day and had all kinds of realization? No.
A lot of time on devotee.
What's that?
Look a lot of time how devotee do it, and also from book.
Yeah, well, maybe some book, maybe seeing how other devotees do it, but actually the way that you learn to really do anything is through hearing. So like for instance, my Guru Maharaj has taught me many things about how to worship the deities, how to see the deities when worshiping. He gives us mantras, what to think about, what mantras to worship, what is our mood. We actually experience Krishna through the ear. And the Bhagavatam actually, there's a verse in the 3rd canto in Lord Kapila's teachings where he's telling us just that the way to hear Krishna, the way to experience Krishna is through the ear. So it's very important that we hear Bhagavatam. And our acharyas have said, even if there's not a bona fide spiritual master, like here at Mantra Central, no bona fide spiritual master is here. So what do? The devotees, we get together and we approach the commentary and like the book, Bhagavatam, and we all discuss together. And by discussing the Bhagavatam, we can all be elevated and we'll develop the urge to hear Krishna's message more. Our hearts will be purified, like Nashta Prayeshva Bhadreshu, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya says. And then what will come? We'll actually develop love for Krishna. But this is the process. So every day here, we didn't always do it, but over the past year and maybe 2 or 3 months now it's been, we've done Bhagavatam almost every day that we've all been together. And I know personally this has been one of the biggest accelerators in my devotional life. Just getting together. And you don't have to do it with, an ashram of boys. You could do it with even just your wife. You can just get together with your wife, read and discuss Bhagavatam. You can get together with even a friend, a coworker, a girlfriend, no problem. But if you discuss Bhagavatam regularly, this is a very, very potent and powerful process. And then it'll actually inspire you to more deeply connect in your chanting, more deeply connect in your worship. So all three should be there: Bhaja Krishna, worship of Krishna; Bolo Krishna, chanting, chanting Krishna's names; and then Koro Krishna Shiksha, following Krishna's instructions. But in order to follow Krishna's instructions, we have to hear Krishna's instructions. So, and then how do we do that? It's the Sankirtan process. San means you gather in a group, and then kirtan. There should be some kirtan. And kirtan doesn't necessarily mean just chanting the Maha Mantra. Kirtan means to glorify. So actually, do you know who's the kirtan acharya? Of like every process of bhakti has an acharya who shows how to do it. Like Shravanam. Do you know who the Shravan acharya is? It's actually Maharaj Parikshit, who we're hearing from right now. He exemplified how to sit and properly hear Bhagavatam. Do you know who the Kirtan Acharya is? It's Shukadev Goswami. You would think, well, why is it not Narada Muni who's always chanting the names of the Lord? Well, Narada Muni is also exalted. He is in the Param. He's Shukadev's guru, actually, in Param. He's his guru's guru. But actually, the one who perfectly exemplifies Kirtan is Shukadev Goswami. Why? Because he's explaining Bhagavatam. So if we really actually, that should let us know something. That the perfection of Kirtan is actually Bhagavatam. So it's a very, very important part of the process. So we're honored that we get to do this every day. And we get to share it with people online. But even I'm just grateful that I get to do it. Because Shukadev Goswami, he reached perfection just by doing Kirtan. Even in the spiritual world, his role is he's a Kirtan. He's an intimate associate of Radharani and Krishna. And what he does always in the spiritual world is just recites their glories. And so this is actually the Bhagavatam. So it's a very good opportunity we have. Where are we at in the Bhagavatam? I don't know if you guys remember. I know, Dhruv, you're just walking in now. But right now what's happening is Kali was beating Mother Earth in the form of a cow, and Dharmaraj, or the personality of religion, or Yamaraj, in the form of a bull. And they were in a predicament in this Kali Yuga where the Kali demon was given a certain amount of power where he could oppress them. And he was beating them over and over again. And Maharaj Parikshit, he stumbled upon this scene, and because he's a proper Kshatriya, he was not going to allow it. And he was strong, and he was ready to kill Kali. And this Prabhupada has given us so much, you could say, instruction on how this is the type of mood we should have when influences of Kali are coming into our life. We have to be strong like Parikshit and ready to remove them immediately. So that's one of my jobs here. Sometimes influences of Kali enter the ashram. Sometime, in my own life, influences of Kali enter. But if we are like Maharaj Parikshit, if we notice such a thing, we must remove this. Be ready to immediately take up our sword and uproot this problem. But interestingly enough, because not everything is so black and white, Kali he's begged Maharaj Parikshit for mercy. So now Maharaj Parikshit, he's juggling. Well, anyone who's abusing innocent people, anyone who's abusing the principles of religion, anyone who's disrespecting the Lord and his devotees, Kali was doing, they should be burnt like fire. But on the second token, a devotee is also extremely merciful. So if anyone's begging to the devotee for mercy, like Kali is, then Maharaj Parikshit, he feels obliged to give mercy, but still at the same time uphold the principles of religion. So what's he going to do? He's going to give Kali a place that he can stay. And for all of those who are righteous, if you avoid those places, you can avoid Kali's influence. But for all of those who are weak-minded, and weak in spirit, they will find themselves intimately associating with Kali. And when that happens, all inauspiciousness comes. So here, this is Kali's plea. That's where we're at right now. Kali is begging for mercy, and Maharaj Parikshit is standing before him to kill him, but Kali is begged before him. And now we're going to see where are the places that Kali, because Kali is going to argue, what about me? Where is there a place for me? And as we mentioned in the earlier part, there's actually a place for the demons. The demons actually have a place in the Lord's existence, or he wouldn't have created the demons. He would have just made everything good, everything perfect, everything wonderful. In the spiritual world, it is like that, but here in the material world, the demons have a purpose. Then they're meant to disturb society so much that the righteous, they turn to the Lord, and those who are not yet righteous, they realize the errors of demonic life, and they eventually turn to the Lord. So that's the point of this world. We're meant to suffer in it, and we're supposed to keep suffering until we realize, I should surrender to the Lord. That's it. Just keep suffering until we eventually realize, oh, why am I doing all this nonsense? Let me surrender to the Lord. So we'll see what Kali says here, and where he is given a place. Kali Uvacha Yatra Kvavatha Vatsyami. Can you see back there, Drew? It's good? Okay. Sarvabhauma Tavagyaya Lakshaye Tatra Tatrapi Tvamateshu Sharasanam Kali Uvacha. The personality of Kali said, Yatra, anywhere, Kva, and everywhere, Va, either, Atha, thereof, Vatsyami, I shall reside, Sarvabhauma, O Lord or Emperor of the earth, Tava, your, Agyaya, by the order, Lakshaye, I see, Tatra, or Tatra, anywhere and everywhere, Api, also, Tvam, your majesty, Atta, taken over, Ishu, arrows, Sharasanam, bows. Good. O your majesty, though I may live anywhere and everywhere under your order, I shall but see you with bow and arrows wherever I look. Purport, Prabhupada says, the personality of Kali could see that Maharaj Parikshit was the emperor of all lands all over the world, and thus anywhere he might live, he would have to meet with the same mood of the king. The personality of Kali was meant for mischief, and Maharaj Parikshit was meant for subduing all kinds of mischief mongers, especially the personality of Kali. It was better, therefore, for the personality of Kali to have been killed by the king, then and there, instead of being killed elsewhere. He was, after all, a surrendered soul before the king, and it was for the king to do what was required. So, Kali was, he could have ran away, but he was realizing, Maharaj Parikshit, he's the ruler over the whole world. So now my best option is just to surrender before him, and if he's going to kill me, he'll kill me. If he'll give me mercy, he'll give me mercy. But he was actually very smart, because the devotee is merciful. So even if someone wrongs you, it's happened many times now in my devotional life, and I did it in my more immature devotional life, I was wronging others. So the best thing to do if you wrong others is to surrender to them, and you be very apologetic and submissive and beg for their mercy. This is what we're commanded to do when we make Vaishnava Aparad. There's nothing that will destroy bhakti like Vaishnava Aparad. It's the number one offense to the holy name, the number one offense to Krishna. So Kali is actually realizing what to do, and he's surrendering very humbly before the great Vaishnava Maharaj Parikshit. And actually, this was very intelligent of him, because if he tried to run away, Maharaj Parikshit would eventually have found him, because he's ruling over the whole world. But Kali confronted him apologetically and submissively and humbly before him, and now he's a recipient of Maharaj Parikshit's mercy. So if we also want to become a recipient of the Vaishnava's mercy, of Krishna's mercy, of Guru's mercy, we also have to approach those personalities very humbly and admit our faults, admit our insincerities, admit how we're a bit rascal, actually. This is one of the limbs of surrender called karpanya, or humility, like Trinadapi Suniche. Now, in order to chant the holy names, to really always do this process, we have to become more humble than a blade of grass. That means becoming very submissive, very humble before the Vaishnavas, very humble and submissive before Sri Guru, and ultimately this will allow us to be very humble and submissive to the Lord. So Kali is very intelligent here. Let's do the next verse. Tanme dharma britang shreshta stanang nirdeshtu marhasi yatraiva niyato vatsya atishthangs te nushasanam tat. Therefore, me, dharma britam, of all the protectors of religion, shreshta, O chief, sthanam, place, nirdeshtum, fix, arhasi, may you do so, yatra, where, eva, certainly, niyata, always, vatsye, can reside, atishtan, permanently situated, te, your, anushasanam, under your rule. Therefore, O chief, amongst the protectors of religion, please fix some place for me where I can live permanently under the protection of your government. The personality of Kali addressed Maharaj Parikshit as the chief amongst the protectors of religiosity, because the king refrained from killing a person who surrendered unto him. A surrendered soul should be given all protection, even though he may be an enemy. That is the principle of religion. And we can just imagine what sort of protection is given by the personality of Godhead to the person who surrenders unto him, not as an enemy, but as a devoted servitor. The Lord protects the surrendered soul from all sins and all resultant reactions of sinful acts. So this is exemplified, it's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 1866, Sarva dharman prityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha yishyami masuchaha. Anyone abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me, and I'll deliver you from all sinful reactions. So Krishna gives us his conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. So even though we have many dharmas, we have many things we have to do, we have to provide for family, we have to earn our survive in this world, earn a proper living, and so many things. Even all of that, if you do nothing else and you abandon all of that and you just surrender to Krishna, He'll deliver you from anything, any type of sinful reaction. Like normally, if I were to abandon my wife and my kids and my kid, and I would just abandon them and not surrender to Krishna, I'll get very many sinful reactions, because it's very wrong to do that. You never should abandon the wife. You never should abandon children. It's adharmic. But if Lord Chaitanya, or even Srila Prabhupada, or the Srila Narayan Raj, they abandoned even the family life at one point, and to surrender deeply to Krishna. Instead of having suffering all kinds of sin, what happened instead? Krishna blessed them immensely, because actually this is the essence of life, that everything, the whole goal of life, of even all dharma and varnashram, is to surrender to Krishna. So ultimately here, Kali is surrendering to the devotee of Krishna, which is very smart as well, and what we should do. We should find, because we don't have the opportunity to surrender directly to Krishna, but we can have the opportunity to surrender to Krishna's representatives in this world, and that's Guru and Vaishnavas. So we should surrender to them, but ultimately, and they can instruct us how to raise our children, how to do our activities day in and day out. I mean, Prabhupada is given a program, and he didn't just want the program at the temple. He wanted every grahastha. What is an ashram? Grahastha ashram. He wanted every grahastha ashram to be like a home temple. Yeah, maybe you don't follow the same strict schedule that the temple follows, but there should be things that happen every day. Like it's mentioned in Nectar of Devotion, the last 5 limbs of devotion, or the last 5, there's 64 limbs, but the last 5 are the most important. Meaning every day these last 5 limbs should be done. Do you know what they are? Prabhupada has given them in his program. He mentions the nectar of devotion. Do you know what they are? Bhagavat Shravana, hearing Bhagavatam daily, that should always be done. But that's not the most important. What's the first most important? Sadhu Sangha. Gathering with the devotees, and every day it should be done. The devotees should come together. Even if it's just you, your wife, and your children. Sadhu Sangha, that's there. Sadhu Sangha, devotees should gather. And then what do you do in Sadhu Sangha? Nam Sankirtan. You should always glorify the names of the Lord. Always singing the names of the Lord in kirtan, in bhajans, and chanting the names of the Lord, japa. And then, hear the Bhagavatam together. That should always be done. And then there's two more. What's that? Dham Seva. So you should always either do seva to your home can become a place where all the meditations are always on the Dham, like Sri Vrindavan and Mayapur. But also you should take some time to visit the Dham. You should take some time if possible. It's not possible for everyone. Travel is expensive and so on. But you should take some time to also go visit the Dham, do parikram, and have, get the blessings of the sadhus there. But you should do Dham Seva. And the easiest way you can do that in your local sphere is do like Dhruv does. He does Seva at the temple. Or like you guys do. You're living and doing Seva at the temple. But this is very important. This should be done every day, always, if possible. These 5 things. And then what's the last one? Yeah, Archana. Deity worship. So these 5 things done every day. And in your Grahastha ashram, you can do it Madhav has some girlfriend now. Parth has some girlfriend now. I have some girlfriend now. Dhruv has some girlfriend now. We have wives, me and Dhruv. You guys. But at some point, you'll likely all get married. And you do all of these 5 things at home. No problem. No problem. You can do them at home. Maybe it's a little bit more inspiration, but you need a little bit more inspiration. But, like Prabhupada. Prabhupada used to have so many home programs. That's actually how he learned his family wasn't favorable. He would invite many many sadhus to the home, and instead of respecting the sadhus and wanting to hear from the sadhus and things, his wife and kids started to separate. They didn't want to be a part of it. And this was very disturbing for Prabhupada for many years. And then eventually it became the impetus that they turned against, the processes of bhakti. So, but even in the home, Prabhupada was trying to do that. He was doing the sadhu sangha. They would do archana. He'd do puja every day. They recite Bhagavatam. Prabhupada was writing his own commentary of Bhagavatam in his home as a grahastha. So these things, have to be done. They're very, very good. They're how you can surrender to Krishna. I found this, and it's putting microplastics on the floor. So I don't know.
Yeah, Kishore brought these new fake flowers.
So, anyway, but I don't want Abhiram to eat like little beads of plastic.
Yeah.
So anyhow, but if we surrender to the devotees, we do sadhu sangha, and we do this process properly, we'll be blessed. And even Kali's going to get blessed, where he's going to have a place. Now, we don't want to go to those places. Where Kali has his place, we should go away from those places. And we're going to, hopefully, let's see if he, yes, Maharaj Parikshit said in this verse he's going to give the places. So let's finish with this verse. Sutu vacha abhyartitas tada tasmai stanani kalaye dado dyutang panang striya suna yatra dharmascha turvidha Sutu vacha. Suta Goswami said, Abhyartita, thus being petitioned. Tada, at that time. Tasmai, unto him. Sthanani, places. Kalaye, to the personality of Kali. Dado, gave him permission. Dyutam, gambling. Panam, drinking. Striya, illicit association with women. Suna, animal slaughter. Yatra, wherever. Adharma, sinful activities. Chatuvidha, 4 kinds of. Sutta Goswami said, Maharaj Parikshit, thus being petitioned by the personality of Kali, gave him permission to reside in places where gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter were performed. Purport. The basic principles of irreligiosity, such as pride, prostitution, intoxication, and falsehood, counteract the four principles of religion, namely austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. So, wow. So what is pride connected to? Oh, pride is lack of mercy. So if you like the only reason people kill animals is because they're very proud and they don't think that their actions have any reactions at all. They think they're the gods of society, and they don't think that, oh yes, there's a God presiding over me. What I do unto others doesn't matter. So they really have no understanding that as they kill other living beings, that they're really they're putting themselves on the butcher's block instead.
But even if they do think there's a God presiding, like Christians do, they say, well, God gave us dominion over, which is even more pride. It's like, well, God gave me dominion over these animals, so I can just kill them.
Yeah, well, this is another thing. We'll become very proud. Our pride, that's why our number one instruction is to become humble. It's like you cannot go and be humble while being proud. It's like trying to go east and west at the same time. In order to go east, you have to give up the west. So in order to become humble, you have to give up your pride. And, ultimately the devotee has already come to a point where some pride has been given up because they can come to the devotional platform. But in order to really relish this process, we have to completely give up our pride. We have to become more humble than blades of grass somehow. That means we have to completely become humble and realize I'm a piece of crap. Everything that I've done up until this point has been a failure. Everything I'm doing now, all of my nonsense thoughts, all my material ambitions, all of my material nonsense, like I'm a hypocrite, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. And then actually, if we admit that to the Lord, humility can arise and then the Lord's mercy can come. But if we're very proud and think, then we start to think I'm the master of others, everyone is my servant, look at me, this, that. And then if it gets so bad, then you think everything, anything and everything. Yeah, animals are just my servant, we can kill them, we can eat them, it doesn't matter anything. But we have to actually develop the mood of a servant. So this is very important. And to that Krishna humble us of our false pride. But these are all irreligious things, and it leads to a lack of mercy and compassion for others. Prostitution. We start to think that, the opposite sex are sexual objects. It's the ultimate thinking that not seeing their soul at all we're seeing is their body. We are, so then we end up having a relationship, a life of prostitution, even in marriage. Me and my wife weren't always able to follow all of the, principles properly. And in those times where we didn't follow the principles properly, we were actually like prostituting each other, using each other for, sexual favors and transactions. And actually this is irreligious actually. But by good fortune actually, by finally getting the mercy of the Vaishnavas and Sri Guru, that we started to follow things more properly. And when doing it properly, then actually, children come, and when children come, Krishna purifies the whole atmosphere. And so then, you can actually follow religiously. But all these things are there. Intoxication, obviously, anywhere where there's intoxication, irreligiosity will come. Because in order to approach the Lord, you need to be sober, you need to be clear. We've been doing a little extra fasting for these past few days for Ekadashi and Bhishma Panchak and stuff. And I'm noticing just the more I put myself through a little austerity, how much clearer and more sober I'm becoming. Just by not being, even you can get intoxicated by all kinds of food items. And I'm noticing, a little bit. But the main thing is definitely not alcohol and marijuana and all these things. All intoxications, even caffeine, they lead to irreligiosity because there's a lack of clarity and to be able to see the truth. And then last is falsehood. Falsehood is dishonesty, lying, cheating. I personally experienced this so heavily this past few months where I got involved in different money markets and things like that. But there's so many elements like stock market, crypto markets, but it's practically gambling because there's falsehood. Like when you go to a casino, yeah, they give you an opportunity to win some money, but you have a better opportunity. They rig the system so that they cheat you. Who did? Shakuni and Duryodhan cheated the Pandavas. So when you get involved in these things, like I unfortunately found myself doing and still have the tendency, there's another good opportunity here, but little behold, I can't see, everyone on the market can't see that there's some group behind the market that they can press a button, they can crash the market anytime they want and upend everything. So you have to, you have to avoid these things. Kali he's going to be given a place anywhere where there's gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter. That's practically every restaurant. Now even the President of the United States, his main platform called Truth Social, they just opened up a way that people can deposit their money and they can gamble on sports as part of his main offering, his own main offering. The President of the United States just did, but this is everywhere. It's rampant. But a lot of times, I know even devotees, and I myself fell into this, and I'm struggling to not get so implicated in this, where the stock market, the money markets, and things like this. And then actually you're going to see Kali's going to be given one more place. Do you know the final place? And this is the most difficult place.
What did you name already?
Well, in this verse, gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter. Wherever meat, animal slaughter, or any killing is done. What?
Gold.
Gold, yes. And it's not just gold, and it's wealth. Anywhere where there's wealth accumulated, and, Kali will be right there waiting. So we have to be, that's why everything we do should be offered to Krishna. Everything we do, every bit of wealth, every bit of, it should be offered to Krishna. Because otherwise, Kali is going to, actually, it's this final one that Kali was very smart by asking for one more place. And Maharaj Parikshit, he ended up falling prey to Kali and cursing or garlanding Shamaka Rishi with the snake garland. And do you know why he fell into such illusion? He's a king. And
It was Krishna's plan.
It was Krishna's plan ultimately, but there was something that Maharaj Parikshit had that...
Wasn't Pratishta?
Yes, temporarily, but how could he fall? He's a pure devotee. How could he fall into such a situation?
So I think not one time about it, just Krishna is mind. No, our mind is energy.
Yes.
It's energy, Krishna. And Krishna can give for us remember and forgetting.
Yes.
So Krishna controller. And just when Krishna have his plan, and then we have forget something, and sometimes doing some stupid thing.
Yes.
Because just we can't follow other direction.
Yes.
We can't do anything because it's our karma or it's Krishna plan, but we just like tool, and we can't do anything, only this plan.
Yes. So what our acharyas have said, that's very good, because it's ultimately Krishna. He's the one who's bewildering our mind. I even myself, I don't know how I made some really stupid decisions these past few months where I put myself in a lot more of a troubling situation. What?
You nothing can to do. You just doing this and this is.
Yeah, and now it's finished. But now I couldn't even believe Krishna bewildered me. But actually, I can see now because there were certain influences in my life that weren't being properly utilized. So Krishna has purified some of that. But it was because Maharaj Parikshit had a crown of gold, his own crown, and because Kali is going to be given a place wherever there's gold, wherever there's wealth, then
Well, can you explain this word?
yeah, wealth is like money and value and things like that. Even myself, I had plans to do with money, and earlier this year, and my plans that had to do with money actually weren't, they were actually just to make sure that me and my wife had a place private to do the, you raise Abhiram properly and things. But actually what we've learned, Krishna took the money for whatever reason. He bewildered me and he took the money, and then he put me in a really kind of troubling predicament, which I'm in now. But one of my realizations, and maybe my wife is having a similar realization, is that actually our main blessing is that we're here. And we're doing this thing every day, and we have all these things here. And to rush me and her and Abhiram out of this and try and let someone else run it, which was my original plan, was not the proper thing to do. And so Krishna purified me, and he said, "Oh no, let's take this." But he taught me many lessons in the process. I see why he's done it. I'm not so happy about it, but at the same time, I'm trusting that it was good, and I see the benefit in my character that's come from such a rough situation, you could say. But yeah, Krishna he'll do that anywhere where these things are there: pride, prostitution, intoxication, and falsehood. He will come and personally bewilder you, and you'll do something stupid. And next thing you know, you'll be like, oh my God, how did I get into this mess? Why am I in such a mess? And until you completely offer everything purely and in Dharma to the Lord, then it'll just make your life more and more hell, actually. And so it's very important. We have to offer everything. Like even my wife and we came together, but we were just lusty fools, actually. And we came together in a very lusty, inappropriate way, actually. And it wasn't until we ultimately decided we were going to surrender our lives to Krishna that then all blessings started to come. All auspiciousness started to come. But until then, Krishna was just putting us through all kinds of trials and tribulations and moving here and there, and nothing was working out. And it wasn't until we finally decided that, okay, we have to be more sincere, and we have to, trust our acharyas, trust the process, and really follow sincerely. And then, boom, so many auspicious things happened for us.
It's not that we weren't chanting or initiating.
No, we were chanting, we were initiated, we were doing everything, but we just weren't following properly. We were letting, you could say, prostitution come in the way of what we really should have been doing. And it wasn't until we stopped, then blessings come. But if you carry on with these things, finished. Kali is in. And you'll never have any, auspiciousness, true auspiciousness. So you have to become clean of these things. That's what Prabhupada gave the 4 regulative principles. He didn't just chant 16 rounds, you'll be fine. No, the 4 regulative principles. And the hard thing about the 4 regulative principles is even in marriage, that means you don't engage in prostitution-like activity. Where, it's a very high standard, but it's difficult. Prabhupada knew that, and he was also merciful on devotees who would fall prey to these things, who couldn't always keep their principles, but he was merciful to them. But at the same time, the gold standard where bhakti is shining through and you're really experiencing something, these things have to go away. And I even saw recently, I'm seeing how falsehood is, especially in holding wealth and things like this. Falsehood can't be present anywhere at all as well. And if any little tinge of falsehood is there, it will contaminate everything. And Krishna, right now, that's my main, lessons I'm learning. Like, okay, now if you get some money, you have to do only for Krishna. Krishna always has to be at the top. Even if I want to do my dharma and my family activities, that shouldn't ever go before Krishna, And so that's what I'm learning now. So it's very difficult, but it's necessary. We're not going to be able to finish this today. We have already, but we'll continue on this tomorrow. But yeah, these 4 regulative principles are going to be so important. And in your life, you're going to find as a devotee, there's, Dhruv does a lot of work with devotees and for devotees, and sometimes he's noticing that even if you're doing work with devotees, and I had the same experience too, I worked for devotees and worked with devotees, and sometimes it's very difficult because when money is involved, then all of a sudden it can, all kinds of interesting arrangements. Kali starts sneaking in the relationship, and Kali starts sneaking in, and you have to be very careful. Because offenses can be made, and this also happened with me and my wife. We worked for devotees, and all kinds of crazy situations. So we have to be, it's not just like, all right, well, I don't go to the casino, I don't eat meat, I'm married, and I don't drink alcohol, and this, that, and the other. No, a lot of these ways Kali can creep in are more subtle. Like even a lot of devotees, are like addicted to chocolate, and chocolate. But actually the caffeine is in the chocolate it has some impact. It could be intoxication. Some devotees, they're drinking all kinds of teas and coffees and things like that. No, these are actually intoxications creeping in. Many devotees, 95% of grahasthas are having sex, more towards the line of prostitution. Just completely for sense gratification. I mean, they did in Namras very famously. He had this, who is it? This Nakula. He teaches people how to retain their energy. I don't want to get so explicit, but anyway, it was a big debate going across the devotee sphere. It was around the COVID time. And what got revealed is that 95% of especially younger hastas, they're just like having sex. That's just what they're doing. And guess what? That's unfortunately what me and my wife ultimately were falling into in the first phase. But ultimately, we found that Krishna wasn't releasing his blessings until we purified of this thing. And so all of these things, especially pride. It's interesting, Prabhupada says pride is the main problem here. Because pride is the reason with why we don't respect others. In Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishna, to be more tolerant than a tree. And then he says, Amanina, which means to become prideless, and Manadena, to learn how to respect all others. But ultimately, why do we become harsh to others? Why do we abuse others, especially slaughter, imagine killing another, but even killing animals, is because we're very proud and we think we're greater than them. And this is actually our main issue. This is why we don't take in the devotional quality of mercy, is because we think we're so great and we can just treat anyone and everyone a certain way. So this is actually a huge issue. So it's, a lot of realization is here, and Prabhupada is giving so much, actually. So this is why it's really important that we study the Bhagavatam, because just by me reading the words of Prabhupada and just trying to share them with you guys, so much realization is happening in my life. Oh, I have to clean this. Oh my God, I can't believe this. I can't believe I talked to Parth that way the other day. I can't believe I said that to Madhav. Who do I think I am? Like I'm everyone's master or something like this. This is our problem. And then we'll lose mercy if we become proud. We'll lose cleanliness if we start engaging in illicit activities. We'll lose austerity or discipline if we start letting intoxication come in our life. We'll lose truthfulness if we start letting falsehood and all these things come into our life via the gambling and risk, greediness and all these things. So, anyhow, these are the places Kali is going to be rampant, and this is where demonic activity, very unpleasant activity, is going to arise and cause trouble in your life. So we have to be very vigilant to chant our 16 rounds and make sure we uphold these principles in our life. And it's more subtle than we think. It's not so black and white. All right, well, I just don't go to a casino. Yeah, I don't drink alcohol. No problem. I don't. Oh yeah, I'm married. I don't have sex with prostitutes. I don't have sex with unmarried women. I don't. I don't kill animals. I don't eat meat. It's actually not that simple. There's more subtle layers, and Prabhupada is revealing. But on a basic level, he gave the very simple layer. But there is a deeper layer to following these principles, and we have to somehow get to that deeper layer if we really want to experience the deeper levels of bhakti and overcome all of the anarthas and offenses which are holding us back. But in order to do that, we need the mercy of Hari, the Krishna, Guru, and Vaishnava. That's why we have to get in sadhu sangha. We have to be regularly discussing these topics of Bhagavatam. We have to be chanting our rounds. We have to be glorifying the Lord's name via kirtan. Both kirtan and japa every day we should do. Kirtan and japa. We have to also give time to the Dham, serving our local Dham, our local temple, but also maybe take time and go to the Dham. Maybe spend 3 weeks in the Dham. Save up for a trip to go to the Dham. It's worth it, especially if you're meeting with sadhus there. Go to the Dham, and then what is last? And then do the deity worship every day. And then also every day worship the deity. If we do like this, we can be protected from Kali, and we can be protected. Like today, just by having this talk, hopefully none of us are inspired afterwards. You know what? I want to start mistreating others. Or, you know what? I want to, let me get in an argument with this devotee. Or let me do, like this. We'll be inspired to okay, I want to really clean up my principles. So anyway, this is the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Jai.
Nantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki. Jai. Dhruv, thank you for joining. We're honored to have you as our special guest. I hope you get to join us more often. You and your family are welcome to come stay here at some time. What's that?
I can say a couple of words.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
So first you say about hearing. And I heard from Maharaj about this.
Yes.
We're very blessed. We get here and we can hear lecture. And everyone can hear. And hearing for spiritual progress. And even if someone can just one hear, he also can hear. And it can be better than two hear. Because when you have two hear, words can come in one here and go out from other here. But when you have just one here, so words and knowledge came and stay. Don't have other door for get out. It's like small joke. I don't know. And
one ear. When you have one ear, it comes in.
Oh, he's saying one ear. Okay, it's a joke. I get
But
it.
when you have 2 ears, it comes in and it goes out.
Yes.
so one, even if just one, it can be better than two.
Yes, that's very nice.
Other thing you say about your bad experience and about why this happened with Maharaj Parikshit too.
Yeah.
So when you in process, clarifying process, you can feel very bad, and it's heaven for you because it's like you can be like in washing machine, and it's pretty hard for you to get this experience. But with time, when you got this experience, you can be grateful for this experience because just with time you will understand why you need this experience in your life and how can you use this experience. It can be like preparing for something bigger. Like now you're young and our life it's like school. We like in school and now we can get some money and we don't have enough experience how to use money and we can lose it and feel bad. But it's experience. But then in future you can get bigger money for mission, for your family, and like bigger blessings. And you will already have experience how you have take care about this money, about this energy,
Yes.
and about this tool, and don't will lose it in the future.
Yes.
In future, and it can be much bigger amount. So this can be just preparation and lessons in your life, even if now you feel pretty hard about it.
Yes.
And also, when you got good experience, like clarify something, and you can follow better standard in this in this period your life, you don't have say about it very loud. It's more or like more noisy. It's less noisy. It's loud, or loud. It's more. I don't know.
Loud is more.
Loud more. So
Yeah, loud is more.
when you got good experience in this period of your life, and all your life condition help you with this, so you don't have to say about it very loud, because just now you got this experience, and you have understand some other devotee and other people can have other condition in his period of life, and you should be very understandful. You have to very good understand everyone, because if you will talk about it very loud and don't good understand other people, but in future your life condition also can be changed, and your standard also can be changed. So you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful with bad experience in your life, like, and in future you will understand why it's happened, and you will be blissful about bad experience too. And also you have to be very careful with good experience in your life. Something can happens very good, or your standard can be better in this period of your life. So you also should be very careful about this, because it also can be temporary, like Matras parsha stuka unteya shitoshna sukha dukkha daha kama payana nityas tam stitiksha svabharatah. It means when we got something bad in our life, we have to be in balance. Don't very take care about it. And when we got some good, we also should be in balance. And sometimes it can happen in one time. Something bad and something good, like it's always change, like winter and summer season. And I'm not the supreme activator, like not person who supreme, who control all this. I'm not controller, you know. So even if it's something bad, I just stay here and do the best what I can. Even if happens something good, I just do the best what I can. But also I should be very understandful about people who are around me, even if someone have some other living conditions in his life, you know, because I got experience like when I was living in Ukraine in my house and making namahata regularly, or have some service. My preaching was also more enthusiastic, and I want to give this enthusiasm in to people who came to my namahata, because I was in very good life condition, and my sadhana, my standard was in good condition, and I own my house. I don't have to rent. I have my own business. I don't have to go to the work every day at 8 o'clock. When I need stuff, I can make stuff in my work. But then slowly, my life condition was changed. I more work, more responsibility. Then I change country. I have to pay rent, and my standard also was changed. I have different. My life condition was changed, and my standard was changed. and only then I begin understand other people who was living came to my program and to my Namahata, but they was living in other life condition, and they at that period of time they can't follow standard what I can follow, what can follow me with my standard and enthusiastic. So now I realize that everything temporary, and even your success or unsuccess, happiness and distress, your high standard and low standard, it's everything can be always flexible. It always can change. Like karma can change. Now you can get bad karma, then you can get good karma, but you always have the balance.
That was very nice, actually. You made me have very many realizations and your sharing.
So even if you got good experience, don't make like very loud, you know. You got good experience,
yes.
because in future you can get little. Your life condition can be changed, everything around you, and you can get some different experience, but you will remember about.
Yes. So I have, that's my own pride. I have to not honk the horn so much. But the main thing is
we call it process.
But the main thing is to try to actually be of service, and I hope I can be of service in one day and help people. But I do have to help myself first. If I can't, if I don't go up on the boat and then I can't help anyone else who's struggling. But it's
and
very good realization.
What I looking from senior devotee, so usually they say about this clarify experience and about high standard only some like about after 20 years. Only when they got it test like in all life. They have bigger experience, and then they can say about some serious thing, and I can listen because they already spent all life in this high standard, and I see how they clean now. But when someone like me, young, and not spend all life in this very high standard, can talk about high standard. I understand in 1 week or in 1 year his standard can be changed. And how can I listen very careful about this high standard if I don't know what can happen with him tomorrow? And even if I will listen very carefully now, and if I will surrender unto him, like my guru, and tomorrow he will lower his standard.
But then you're not going to lose anything. Even if you surrender unto that person, if you're fully sincere, you're not going to lose anything. It doesn't matter if that person falls, you're still fulfilling the true instructions, no?
Yeah.
So who cares if it falls or not?
But also a person, as far as I understand, a person who really has a high standard, not just externally it looks high. Oh look, they do this activity, this, but really internally has a high standard, there's no falling from that. Bhakti is never lost. Once you gain bhakti, it's not lost. Krishna will preserve what you have and carry what you lack. So meaning it'll only keep increasing. Real bhakti only increases. The externals may increase. Like it looks like maybe right now, who knows if I'm practicing anything internally or externally. Maybe you guys can only see, let's say myself. If you look at me, you might see, oh, he does this, he does this, he does this. Inside, I could be a complete disaster. Inside, I can be a complete disaster and have no bhakti at all. Even though it looks like I'm doing so many bhakti activities. But inside, I can be a complete disaster. Otherwise, Narayan can come and offer just a little lamp, and it looks like he's doing so much less. But inside he could be completely topmost. And but if he really has that inside, then he won't lose that. But me, if I don't have it, the externals, I might lose the externals. But the internals, if we cultivate the advancement in bhakti, it will not be lost actually. Krishna will carry that, and he'll keep increasing. So like bhakti is said to be like a bank account that never goes down. But the externals will go down. They'll go up and down. You know, like one day maybe I have all the externals, I can do this, I have all good facilities for doing this. But if internally it's not there, then all the externals will fall apart. But internally, if the bhakti is there and it's growing, then it'll just, no one can stop you. Nothing can stop you in bhakti. Because, no war or anything. Nothing, no conditions outside can stop bhakti from growing. Because bhakti is transcendental. And no material condition can impact it at all. But on the same time, if we do look at, just the external, he's doing arti or doing this and that. Something can, like if a bomb went off in Syracuse or knocked out the power grid, and we lost all money, or these things can happen actually. Then the standard of worship might seem less, but actually internally it could be even more. Like I think you guys maybe both had, I don't know. But Narayan was telling his experience how when all the devotees were gathering during the war, how, the bhakti increased like crazy, even though all the conditions around were just seemingly terrible. But I don't know, you shared that experience the other night, didn't you?
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. And so this is, so in that way, bhakti itself will never go down. But the external bhakti always can go ups and downs, because it's not a mature bhakti. It's like kanishta adhikar, prakrita bhakta means a materialistic bhakta. So like I've done so many things, very materialistically in my life, my arti, and I say, ooh, look how I wave the fan. It doesn't matter how I wave the fan. It matters in my mood. What am I thinking about to the Lord when I wave the fan? What matters, look how many times he goes around the Lord's feet with the incense stick. That doesn't matter, but the internal mood, what am I actually thinking of to the Lord when I'm doing that? That's the bhakti, Do you know what I'm saying? So it may even look like even my life, it may look like I do lots of bhakti activities, but actually in my heart, only a little bhakti is happening. That's just the honest truth. I'm only doing things right now that I know will eventually hopefully give me bhakti, if the Guru and Vaishnava and the Lord bless me. But once I get that actual bhakti or devotion, nothing can take. No war, nothing. So that's also another kind of element as too. And with a guru, if someone is a true guru and they're very advanced in bhakti, nothing can stop them. They're perfect. Doesn't matter. Like Prabhupada, in so many austere conditions, he was able to do so many amazing things because he had so much bhakti. And no Mayavadi guru could take it away from him. No, landlord could take it away from him. No hippies trying to kill him could take it away from him. He always was able to keep going, and he would find a way to offer it to the Lord, and it just kept expanding and expanding.
But how can we help those people, like Drew explained, those ones who get really discouraged and disappointed by their gurus or seniors? It happens.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
happens.
No, trust me.
Because I have a close friend who got affected by such conditions that he really disagreed with the guru.
Yes.
There was a reason.
Yeah.
It was reasonable. I'm not going to explain anything, but it really affected his spiritual life.
Yeah.
He got disappointed and he left for a while. He's back, almost there now again. But still, there is such a problem when you surrender your spiritual life onto someone's,
Yeah.
you know,
I actually have.
under someone's instructions, and then they fall.
Yeah.
What do you do, and how can we help?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I've studied this whole thing a lot over the past few years, and what I've been told from advanced devotees and senior devotees, like for instance, this happened with many devotees.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
Their beliefs, they
Yeah.
they don't believe enough, or they haven't progressed enough in spiritual life.
Yeah.
But we still kind of need to help those people.
Yeah, well, also ourselves too, but for instance, when Srila Prabhupada left, he left the planet. Some young sannyasis and people in the movement became the acharyas of the movement. And then all of a sudden, because it became evident to everybody in the movement that these folks aren't on the level of Prabhupada, some really crazy things started to happen. And where the people were noticing that these people are doing activities that the Shastras are saying are very bad. And I don't need to get into examples, but there were way more examples than... And it discourages if, say, you're supposed to follow this person, but they're doing all kinds of crazy, abominable activities, then it really can discourage the heart. So the main thing to do, in the process of, Bali Maharaj, his guru Shukracharya, he told him, you don't worship, don't offer him worship, he'll take away all your material things. What are you doing? He's going to take away everything. But Bali Maharaj said, this is the Supreme Lord. How can I not fulfill his request, even if he takes all my things? So what did? He actually had to reject his guru in that instance. Because if guru is ever... So that's why there's sadhu...
Bali Maharaj had this strong, spiritual life.
Yeah.
He was convinced in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, but if
But
someone's not
sometimes,
convinced,
it's
so what to do for those people? Well, you have to help them advance. So there's three things that help everyone advance. There's sadhu, shastra, and guru. And if their guru is not able to take the role of a guru in that moment, then they have to rely on sadhu and shastra. But the problem is that we don't always have so much association with sadhus. It's very rare. You have to build so much sukriti to even get the association of a sadhu. And then the good thing is we do have bona fide shastras from Srila Prabhupada. And, those devotees who read, like Vaisheshika Prabhu, he really makes a huge point about read, become a sage page by page. But if we really read the shastras, we'll be able to recognize, just from reading it sincerely, we'll be able to recognize who is sadhu and who is guru. And when we can recognize, then it will help us surrender properly. Because if we have an immature understanding of who is guru, we might surrender to someone, but then we might not... they might not be fully qualified. And also there's levels, like for instance, if I'm a Kanishta Adhikari, right? But I'm a little bit more advanced or a little bit more experienced than Madhava, who's also a Kanishta Adhikari. But I have a little bit more experience. I can become a guru to him in the way that I can share my experience for him to advance to my point. But then if I want to take him above my point, I can't, because I can't even go above my point. So if sometimes it happens that a guru is really, really beneficial for somebody and they help them go to the next level, but at some point the disciple and the guru are around the same level and they can't go much farther together, so they're both feeling stifled. So if that happens, and they start having disagreements and things, what the Bhagavatam says to do is to always have a shiksha guru. And the shiksha guru, you should always seek somebody more advanced than yourself. Like it says in Nectar of Instruction, Krishneti yasya giritang manasadriyeta dikshasti chet pranatabischa bhajantam ishram Shushrusaya bhajana vigyamananya manya nindati shunya hridam ipsita sangalabdhya. So what does Rupa Goswami say? Anyone who has Krishna Krishna on their mouth, you should offer respect in the mind. So anyone chanting Hare Krishna, they know about Krishna, some respect has to be there. But then he says, Dikshasti chet pranatibis tribhajantamisham. Anyone who has a sincere bhajan of Krishna, and they're initiated, they're practicing sincerely, we should actually offer them our pranams. Pranatibis. We should offer them our pranams. But then answers your question. It says, Shushrushaya bhajana vigyam ananyamanya. And what that means is, Shushrushaya means to practically serve, but specifically in hearing. So Shushrushaya bhajana vigyam, someone who's very advanced, their vigya in bhajan. We should hear from them. Shushrushaya bhajana vigyam ananyam, and they're pure in their practice. It's not mixed bhakti. You're not going to find, okay, well they're practicing bhakti, but then I'm noticing they have some interesting side business, and everything's going into that, and then you're saying, okay, that might not be a pure devotee. So but someone and they're ananya, they're a pure devotee. That person, you have to hear from them. And that they're anya nindadi, they have what's a symptom of them? They have no tendency, and they're shunya of anya nindadi, they have no tendency to criticize others. So if, you'll find someone to be a very critical personality, then you might say something is actually wrong in the heart. This is the symptom of a lack of advancement still, is that, the tendency to criticize others is present. And then, shunya hridam, it's in their heart, they have no tendency to criticize anyone. And, what is it? Anya nindati shunyam hridam ipsita sangha labdhya. This is the desirable, cherishable association that we need to obtain. So that's what we have to do. We have to find somebody, we have to offer our respect to all devotees, and we have to offer our pranams to advanced devotees who they're initiated, they have a practice, they're sincere. But then we have to find a pure devotee who their character is spotless, and that devotee, that's guru. And if somebody it's revealed to you that somebody doesn't have this spotless character, they can't in your heart act as guru anymore. And so what you do is you find a diksha guru, or a shiksha guru. Even though they gave you a diksha, this happened with Bhaktivinoda Thakur. His diksha guru isn't on the altar. His shiksha guru is on the altar. Prabhupada's, both of them, their diksha guru is on the altar. But Gaurakishora Das Babaji, his diksha guru wasn't Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I don't even know his diksha guru. It may have been Jagannath Das Babaji. I don't know. But Jagannath Das Babaji wasn't Bhaktivinoda Thakur's diksha guru. He is a shiksha guru. But when I forget the name of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's diksha guru, but Bipin Bihari maybe. But basically he wasn't. It was Bipin Bihari. So yeah, basically he wasn't at that platform. He wasn't at that topmost platform, and so ultimately,
Bhaktivinoda, you're saying.
Yeah, Bhaktivinoda's diksha guru. So he had disagreements with him, and he was trying to be very humble in reconciling them, but Bipin Bihari was he became unfavorable. Like you could say Shukracharya, in a sense, became unfavorable to Bali Maharaj. And then he ended up surrendering to Jagannath Das Babaji. And it was through him that all of Mayapur was excavated, Mayapur was revealed and discovered, and so many things. So it's actually not a great loss, So you could show them our own lineage. Look what happened to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And he became what's known as the seventh Goswami, because of his finding the bona fide shiksha guru in Jagannath Das Babaji. And even there's so many...
We know a few people whose gurus fell and then they found a lot of inspiration. Yeah, after Prabhupada left, there were so many disasters that happened where gurus weren't able to uphold the proper guru standard. But what ended up happening is some really sincere devotees, like for instance, you're a disciple of Narayan Maharaj, right? You got initiated. Narayan Maharaj gave shelter to so many amazing devotees who
they were so disappointed by their experience other places. But Narayan Maharaj was able to give them shelter and inspire them because they kept searching. They realized this is the devotional standard. I'm seeing in Shastra. I've heard from sadhus this is the devotional standard, but I'm not seeing it here. So they kept going, and they sought shelter of advanced devotees, and they heard from them. So that's what they have to do, to give them hope. Say it's not a loss. Don't worry. You just need to find somebody who can keep inspiring you. So, like that. And actually, all like Vaishnavas and stuff, they don't have what's called Guru Abhiman, meaning they don't possess you. They never say, no, you're my disciple. You should never hear from somebody else. Like Narayan Maharaj, your guru, he would always let his disciples hear from Vaman Maharaj and Trivikram Maharaj and other advanced Vaishnavas, because he trusted them that they're all on the same team. They're just trying to bring everyone to Krishna. But if we get pride, then we want everyone to serve us. And then that person should not be guru. And so if that happens, then you keep going and someone will come. You'll find the right person. But and even sometimes people, like when Prabhupada left and he wasn't able to give personal instruction again, even when that happens, and it's not Prabhupada's fault, he left the world, but still many of his disciples, they kept getting shiksha, because this is actually the process of Bhagavatam. It's not you just have one guru. You have your guru is just, you should have infinite amounts of gurus. Like Bhagavatam talks in 11th canto, you should see the 24 gurus of the world, and there's so many gurus. The trees are your guru, the mountains are your guru, all of the 5 elements are each your guru in different ways. A prostitute is a guru to Dattatreya in that section of the Bhagavatam. But the main thing is you should find an advanced devotee to be your guru, who's like, they have no tendency to criticize and they're pure in their dealings. And that, sometimes your Diksha Guru can act like that, and maybe sometimes later in your life, maybe your Diksha Guru leaves and you still will need a Shiksha Guru. So that's the whole principle. We always need Shiksha Guru. So that's what I've heard. But does that make sense?
Oh, it truly makes sense.
So, does that make sense?
Yeah. So you have fast today. I'm not working, so we can sit here like this.
What's that?
You have fast. You don't need. I don't work. So we have time. We can talk.
Yes. You want to talk today?
He's saying that's why we're sitting.
Oh, that's why we're sitting
why
and talking.
Still, I sit in here.
Oh, yes. So I do actually have to get chanting and all these other things. I have a lot of. But thank you. I'm really happy when devotees come and we have this sadhu sangha. It's so nice, and so I really appreciate you guys. I actually kept it online the whole time, so maybe someone else will appreciate. Actually, maybe it got closed. I don't know. Never mind.
The phone ended.
Oh, okay. So anyway, Hare Krishna, guys. Thank you.